Oh, hi, it's Mia. I finished this game. I beat it, so it reset, and I gotta leave really soon, like in like 10 minutes. I have to meet my patient at 6, and I forgot I was supposed to do driving lessons. I haven't showered since Friday night. This is really bad. Saturday I worked, and I was like so out of it. Like, I made a video. I was like, I didn't even do my hair or makeup, nothing. Like, I believe I washed my face just because. So this is Sunday. It's supposed to be my day off, but it's never my day off. So I was up. I had woke up, and I don't know what I was doing. God, remember I told you my smoke alarm was turning red like some kind of demon light, demon red light that looks like some kind of demon eye. It's been going off, and the battery should be good. I'll have to change them out. It's like every time, well, they changed all the smoke detectors and that's carbon monoxide. Sometimes they do something and it's weird. Like people's carbon dioxide detectors were going off in the backyard next to the freeway, and they're like, "Oh, it's defective. We have to uninstall those." But I'm thinking, carbon monoxide, like we're lower than the freeway exit, and it's like the freeway's right on the other side. So I feel like we're like low. The carbon monoxide would potentially, literally be like in the air in our houses. I forgot I had food. I gotta go. I don't even have time to make a video. I used to leave the kitchen window open, and I'd go downstairs. I told you, I don't know if this happened, but like at the same days, I used to go downstairs and watch Joyce Meyer, and at 5:30 in the morning. And so this TV used to be downstairs, because somebody gave us the other one when they got a flat screen TV. And this, when we're going down, like, my window open, thinking it's gonna be fresh air in the morning, for whatever reason I did it. And it smelled like there was a diesel truck inside of our kitchen. Like, you could not breathe. And I know that's a smell, that carbon monoxide is not a smell. And I feel like exhaust is exhaust. There's mixed with stuff you can smell. Like, natural gas is mixed with egg stink. And I believe she said 5:30. Let me double check. Okay. She was like 5, I think. I thought you said 5:30. So I had a day off. I jolted out of bed to go to the bathroom because I heard my daughter in this bathroom, or somebody using my daughter's ladder in the morning in this bathroom. And I like literally like, I thought someone was in the downstairs bathroom. I'm like, oh, please don't be in the downstairs bathroom. And I asked my son, "You want to go to the store?" Because he was going to go in the middle of the night by himself to Winco and walk. And we went, because like, he's like, "Oh, I'm just not going to talk to him. I used to check out." Like, they closed that at night. I think they closed it at midnight or 1 a.m. I don't know when. And they just have a regular one checker. They blocked that entire entrance off, so you can't even get in. You can't even get in. You can barely get in the store. Like, they blocked the entire, like, you have to come through that same checkout. Or whatever. Well, it's a safety issue, but when I woke up, he said, "Alright, God," I was like, I don't know what time it was, but he was usually going to bed at 6 a.m., so I said, "Do you want to go?" I was like, "No," and he's like, "Yeah." And I just threw my clothes on, went, didn't weigh in, I don't think, didn't get anything to eat. I don't know. I was out of it. I went to the bathroom and, like, left. When we got in trouble for using self-checkout with more than 15 items. Because I got like 4 frozen items for the kids. He wanted something super healthy. Didn't need to be cooked. That wasn't junk food. And didn't have sugar. And I'm like, he didn't want soup because he didn't want to cook it. He didn't want to heat it. So the only thing he picked out was his little sandwich. And I'm like, really? So I bought all this other foods, like all this stuff has to be cooked. I didn't want snacks, no chips, nothing like that. No cookies. I was tired of that. And I said, why don't you just get a frozen dinner? Just practice. I don't want him eating frozen dinners, but practice putting this plastic container in the oven, the toaster oven, and pulling it out. But I didn't pull it out with the hot mat, so I practiced that, or put it on a tray. So I'll make some food, or maybe I'll put it in a Pyrex, and then have them while I'm home. Help me pull it out of the oven. So like, because what if I did put, like, say, you guys had a turkey dinner in there. So I put a piece of bread, some turkey, mashed potatoes, and gravy. And then he used to like taco salad. Got a little taco salad in a bowl. That's something. Oh, taco salad. That is something. I'll have to do that. He can eat it right out of the container. I'll just put the sour cream on top. I used to do that, and then Ella said she didn't like taco salad. I used to eat taco salad. That's the thing when I changed my diet. I stopped making it. Ella would eat it, my son would eat it, and then it's time to go already. I take a shower. And then she wanted tacos, and he wanted taco salad. I'm gonna make one of those. I'm gonna get extra lettuce. I can make a small one. Actually, you know what I can do? I can do both. I can make like two plastic container taco salad, and then like 4 wraps. That way I don't use all the lettuce. I'm gonna have some corn chips, crush them up, put them in a plastic container, and he can dump that crushed chips. My mom used to use Doritos, crushed Doritos on top. The sour cream should be okay. I kind of want to hang out with someone. I kind of want to go to a meeting. I felt in my heart like I'm going to stay home until Tuesday, and you're not home anyway. So I dropped my daughter off at work. I had forgotten about my patient. So I didn't talk to my patient, text my patient yesterday. I'm like, oh crap. I said something about. And then I left. I guess I went to work. I didn't even think about it till like a couple hours ago. I told you I had those library movies. I forgot the Party Girl one. And so I had a $1 fine. If I had taken them both before, I got there before 12. If I had taken them both before and not renewed them, I would have had a $1 fine, or a 50-cent fine. Now I have a $1 fine. 50 cents. Like, that's a lot, dude. One day, 25 cents, more than one item. That's really bad. I haven't had a fine. Last time I should have had a fine was a big snowstorm, ice storm. I had to go to work, but that's up a hill. And I was like, it's not worth it. I'm sure the hills are graveled. That's my fear. The regular roads aren't gravel, and then I freak out, and I realize later on after the snow melts, I go up to the hill, and it's usually got gravel. I'm like, oh, I could have just gone up there. But at the same time, you don't know until you get there whether it's actually been graveled or whether it has gravel and a sheet of ice over the gravel. You don't know, really. Or when you're up the hill. So the first person I told you the snowpocalypse didn't happen last weekend. One person's like, oh, we got 6 inches in Gresham. I'm like, I didn't even hear that. I don't watch the news, but I didn't even hear it. Someone told me they had snow in Vancouver. I knew that something was going on in the gorge. Because all the gorge schools were closed. So I'm going to take a 5-minute shower, throw on some clothes, and go get my kid. I'm going to go to this patient's house. That's all the time that I have. I threw away like half my underwear. Like, that was stupid. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what my problem was. And right now, I'm like, I'm gonna put a spare pair in the car too. That light is turning crazy. The reason I'm making a video right now, I just watched Diamond Sweetheart's birthday. Oh, I watched half of her birthday video. It's just cute. She had all these phone calls and texts and people taking her out. And on my birthday, I sit in my bed. It's in October, and I basically like cry, and I'm alone. And when I'm gonna take this time. When I don't have my birthday, or when my birthday's over, nobody cares. Like, I give people cards, and gifts at work, and I told people my birthday, and everyone ignored it. And then all the other workers, they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you cupcakes. Oh, I'm gonna do this." And so I get really sad, and I don't know if they really got them cupcakes. They don't even acknowledge it. It's like you gave it a gift and a card, and then there's, "Oh, thank you," and then you say when your birthday is, and you don't do it to get something back. But the thing is, they said that the managers used to get cupcakes for everybody's birthday at one time. Go up to Freddy's, or somebody would bring in, like, I don't eat cupcakes, but someone would go bring in something to acknowledge a person's birthday, and I was kind of like, wow, that doesn't happen. The reason I'm making this video is because I sat in a meditation chair. It's not my meditation. I don't have my meditation rug in my room, so I've been sitting in a Papasan chair with a timer, and the 10 minutes went by really fast, because lately I'd been doing like 5 minutes. I was trying to do from that book, The Refuge Recovery, 5 minutes of breathing and 5 minutes of opening up to God, but I just set 10 minutes, you gotta go soon. And what happened was, I don't know, I was thinking about something, but I told you maybe 2, 3, 4 days ago, I came out of somewhere and went into the car, and that thought, maybe it was a massage on Thursday, Valentine's Day, that thought of my ex-husband was that relationship is really screwing you up more than you knew on your current situation, like in life. And I know a lot of stuff. Like, I had a bunch of junk in the cabinet downstairs, and like, there's a thing, I think it's airmail from China. And I think I pulled it out of there and threw it on the floor. Now, in the back of my mind, I know that thing was probably still in there, and I was kind of thinking, there's no way I saved that. But I never cleaned that plastic container cabinet out, so it was like really bad. And so, like, really embarrassing that I'm like, oh, I don't need this. I don't need this piece of paper for the kids' education. Just order something else from China. If you need something, it'll cost you $5 free shipping or whatever, or 83-cent shipping. Who cares? Actually, on Amazon it was cheaper, but yeah, I ordered something else. The postage just started to go up, I think. The reason I'm making this video is because I had that thought on Thursday, and I'm like, how do I deal with that? How do I deal with a relationship that I left and fled for my life and the life of my kids in 2004? How do I deal? And I had tried to leave after marriage, which was right after marriage, which was in 98. The summer of 98, I tried to leave. After my daughter was born, I was trying to leave, and I had nowhere to go. I would have just been wandering on foot by myself, literally. That I just took off on foot because I was fed up. And from, the first 24 hours of marriage until I actually left July of 2004, I literally felt that bad about the situation, but I stayed in it. I stayed in it because I had nowhere to go, but I told you it was abusive. I do not like disposable relationships. Look how dark my hands are compared to my skin. I'm not a disposable person. When I commit, I want to go through thick and thin and work it out. And if these guys don't want to work it out, I have no choice, especially when it's life-threatening, but to leave. So I had been told by the church that you're gonna, like, die if you relax your mind, that you're gonna let in demons and it's gonna kill you from the inside out. So I got scared, knowing that my Bible talks about meditation, that my program talks about meditation, that my God himself talks about meditation, but I have this old teaching that's not correct. And God is telling me, and I forgot last week, God saying, like, you have the third eye, and that there was a spot on the wall. It's like a portal, like a little, on the Ghost especially had like those little portals, little evil things where there's like a hurricane circled, like, with clouds, and it's like there's energy of God was coming to that, like, third eye. Like, that just came to my mind. I opened my mind like a week or so ago. But today it was like, open your mind, open your mind. You got to be like Luke in Star Wars when he's training with Yoda in the cave on the island, whatever island, a swampy place. And Yoda has him go in a cave, and he faces his fear, and it was Darth Vader. And after he faced Darth Vader, I can't believe I could have took a shower and went and got my kid. I can't believe this. I'm like so behind. He gets out, the mask comes off. He wants to fight, and it's him. And God, like while I was sitting here, I have a lot of little. I used to watch Star Wars every break, and now I don't have breaks. My breaks are like work days, and it's really stressful because I can't separate the stress of hustling to make more money with rest. Even Craigslist Hunter goes fishing like all the time. But he asks other people to run his business. That's the thing. Money's still, he has on a salary. Money's still going in his pocket no matter whether he's on vacation or not. And I never get vacation hours at work. I have not got vacation hours at work. And so, I should start going passing out my resume in person. Because I need to like look someone in the eye and be like, I'm serious, dude. Like my resume actually sucks. I know it doesn't. It's overwhelming. It's got jobs all over the educational background. So I gotta go, but I'm gonna text my daughter the time. I gotta come back home and take a shower and get ready to go. Okay, maybe a few minutes. I may be a couple minutes late. Like maybe I will be. And I kept this had to repeat because I couldn't focus. Plus the smoke alarm was going off, and it was like I was like where Luke is going in this cave, facing what I need to face alone with an entity, God, an entity guiding me, telling me what to do, and then the thought of feeling like I got in this marriage and that I was still locked in this marriage that I left, that he didn't do anything to try to even maintain the contact with the children. Like, it didn't matter about me anymore. I wished it had mattered about both me and the kids, but once it comes to a point, the kids become more important for him to have a relationship. But I felt like this bound, the shackles connected to that, and not fully let go, because at first we thought he would come to his senses, go do his partying and his orgies, and realize that his wife and kids are gone. And so I stalled at first to get a restraining order, because I wanted him to do visitation. I stalled at first to get legal separation, but then it became, well, when my daughter didn't come home from school one day, I got the restraining order because I had a friend in elementary school who would get kidnapped. Her sister would get kidnapped by the dad. So I ended up getting a restraining order. When my daughter didn't come home, it was a mistake that they left her for after-school activity. When I had a family who had a disabled child say that they couldn't make any long-term or any big decisions about this child's health care without the dad's help unless she got legal custody of the kids, I found out I could do separation in custody and convert. So I had temporary custody with the restraining order, kept renewing the restraining order until I got separation custody, and then they said I had, I think, 2 years to convert that separation into divorce for $1 if I did it before a deadline. And I actually tried to expedite it to make it a less than a 10-year marriage because of tax or because of Social Security purposes. But I just barely, I missed it. I was overdue. Some people in my meetings would come up, or they would say something, or they would overhear conversation. Oh, I'm going through this. Oh, I'm seeing a lawyer. And someone else would be like, hey, this happened to me. Oh my God. It's a reflection of my life, but they're already past the stages that I did. And they're warning me or giving me advice about how to do something. I had gotten bitter at the end of my meditation. I had started crying. I got bitter because I was like, oh my God, this guy, like, okay, he said no. It's like, was I bad? I felt for years, I felt ripped in half because I took the kids and fled. And I felt torn because he was abusive and I didn't want my kids to die with his hands, or he was under the influence of drugs or alcohol. And I fled for our lives. But I had this guilt early on that I swiped these kids from their dad, how would I feel if he swiped the kids from me? So in the early years, I never, because we're always trying to find housing and money and trying to find sponsors so I could work my program and stay sober, I always put that on a back burner, that thought of guilt. So at 14 and a half years later, I still feel guilty for not, I haven't gone, convinced myself that you did it for safety reasons. You signed up for supervised visitation. You did court stuff. He was in jail. He got out of jail. He wrote a couple notes where he would talk about missing the kids and can you please email me this. And then he'd proceed to be cussing me out and acting like a fool. So it would tell me what a jerk I was. So if there wasn't that abusive words to try to keep me as a victim under his control, it would be more of a consideration to email him or send him a picture. And the kids are like, what if I wanted to send a school picture to your dad? What did you do? The kids said, we'll wear disguises. We don't want him to know what we look like. They were terrified. And I didn't tell them anything about their dad. They know that I had a restraining order. I didn't tell them anything. Your dad did this to me. Your dad beat me. Your dad kicked the crap out of me. Your dad gouged out my gums. I didn't tell them anything. What they sense and what they witnessed is their own memories. I would tell them funny stories about things we do, or how we play guitar, or how he wanted me to read sci-fi. Like, I tell them, like, neutral and positive stuff about their dad. What his family was like, what he knew, how to do, jumping trains, just general history, so they knew who this guy was. But I didn't ever talk about the abuse. And they didn't go to counseling. My counselor wouldn't talk about it anyways, but they knew that I had a restraining order and that we were not, the reason we had a restraining order is because we didn't know if he changed. It wasn't because I taught them to be fearful of their dad. I got the restraining order to say, until we see or hear from a relative that he has changed, we're not sure, so we're going to be on the safe side. So that was what the kids were told, and that's what I said. All that his stepdad was saying was, you need to stay safe and stay away. And that's all he said. And that scared me because that was his biggest ally and biggest advocate. It's 5:30, I gotta go. So going through life on life's terms and coming out of the grips of addiction, of abuse in 2016, having Thursday and today Sunday, February 17th, 19, there's still a grip of abuse and victim fear. I was afraid to look at the pastor during sermons for at least 6 months after I left my ex-husband. I couldn't look at men. I couldn't talk to men. I'm a social person. I'm sure I talk to men. There's cashiers. There's people in meetings. You hold hands with the person next to you. That pastor ended up being an abusive person, but that could have been the reason for that particular person. During the sermon, I had to look somewhere else for months until I could look at the speaker in that podium. I gotta go. I don't want to be like this. I'm really mad at myself. But it pulled out the back burners of my brain, these tendrils of things that were stuck, wrapped around my I don't know if the word psyche is the right word, but my very being, and like the grips and the shackles of all that. Not even just the marriage covenant, where you legally and physically became in union with a man that you imagine yourself buying property and growing old and working in a garden and raising kids and grandkids and having pets and sheep to shear wool or whatever, and it just fell apart in the hands of satanic freaking drugs and of all the combination of stuff. I waited years, and I thought he'd come to his senses, join me in the meetings, or at least do some mediation with me. He refused to do anything. I'm not forced him to go to meetings, but I wanted some mediation. There's plenty of people, here even drinking and smoking pot and doing a little bit of other stuff once in a while. I don't know if I could be in a house with that kind of stuff, but I don't hate people, or I'm not fearful of people that do that. I'm just fearful of my own sobriety. But even if he did mediation and he was doing a little bit of something that I didn't agree with that wasn't illegal, I would potentially still be in a relationship with this person. Gotta go. 32.